Now, when this story had first came out, it had a lot of people shocked. It had a lot of people questioning the facts of the situation. And then later on, after the story started to develop, the person that was accusing Jay-Z with Tony Busby, there started being a lot of inconsistencies in their story. There wasn't a lot of things that made sense at the time that they were expressing. They even had spoken to the person's father who didn't recall an incident occurring where they had to pick them up after meeting with Jay-Z and P. Diddy. But this comes out around the time where all these situations were happening with P. Diddy, and somehow it trickled down to Jay-Z being involved with Tony Busby, who was also a lawyer who was suing P. Diddy at the time. This ended up becoming an issue for Jay-Z when Tony Busby, the attorney, started going at Jay-Z. Now, after the fact, Jay-Z and the case with Tony Busby had became dismissed. They dismissed the case, and Jay-Z was able to win out of that case unscathed. Now, after winning the case against Tony Busby and the woman that was involved, the Jane Doe that was involved, Jay-Z files a lawsuit against the attorney Tony Busby to go at him for running with this narrative that he had built with this Jane Doe. So, like I said, there was a lot of inconsistencies with the story, and now after the case is being dismissed, it looks like Jay-Z is suing them now in a lawsuit. It says here Jay-Z indicated in the legal documents that the harm inflicted upon him and his family is impossible to calculate. Now, Jay-Z is saying that he is very affected by what happened and what took place. And that whole like rest of the year 2024, that was a conversation piece for at least a good 2 or 3 months where people were talking about this and the situation with him and this lawyer, Tony Busby. We know Tony Busby was also involved with P. Diddy in another case that involved 120 people and things like that. A lot of crazy stories around the lawyer, Tony Busby, that had taken place in 2024. Now it says here that the music mogul Jay-Z filed the lawsuit against Texas attorney Tony Busby, accusing him of defamation, civil extortion, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. This lawsuit immediately follows the dismissal of his case with the Jane Doe, who filed back in 2024. This was a case that involved Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs. Now, at the time of this incident, she claimed that this was in the 2000s at the MTV Video Music Awards after party in New York. The Jane Doe lawsuit was dismissed on Valentine's Day. Now that his name was cleared on February 14th of 2025, Jay-Z vows to exact legal revenge on Busby, the attorney, for allegedly using the unnamed woman to assassinate his character and trying to blackmail him into giving up his wealth to squash the lawsuit. The frivolous, fictitious, and appalling allegations have been dismissed, Jay-Z wrote in a statement. The lawsuit was without merit and never going anywhere. It says here, I felt that Mr. Busby was placing a to my head that I either bow to his demands or endure personal and financial ruin, he declared in the legal documents obtained by the people. The Rock Nation founder also asserts that he lost more than $20 million in business ventures as companies pulled back from him. The lawsuit by Jane Doe was among the class action filing by more than 120 of Busby's clients who are seeking legal redress against Diddy for a plethora of crimes related to a lot of other things that P. Diddy had done in the past. Diddy remains in the federal legal custody in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York, awaiting trial in May. Now, remember, this all happened after there was a lot of inconsistent stories with Jane Doe and the situation with Jane Doe that took place after the fact. It says here, Jane Doe's account crumbles under media scrutiny. The suit was voluntarily dismissed with prejudice, meaning that she could never file the suit again. It came not long after NBC News uncovered multiple inconsistencies in Jane Doe's account, including the assertion that her father picked her up after the so-called situation. The father could not recall that ever happening. Jane Doe also said that she had spoken to singer Benji Madden at the after party, but Madden had came out and spoke out about the situation as well and said that it would have been impossible because he was on the tour in the Midwest with his band Good Charlotte at the time and did not attend the MTV Video Music Awards in the 2000s, the year she claimed that everything had happened. So a lot of inconsistencies that she said in her story when she had spoke out in the situation. Her identity remained anonymous and she didn't ever give her true identity but she did work with Tony Busby and voluntarily dismissed the case. Some of the story got out to the internet. The internet kind of did some digging. A lot of people did some digging, and they ended up finding out that she wasn't really telling the truth. It looks like he did get affected by losing $20 million in whatever deals and whatever ventures that he had during the time. And it looks like he's looking to go at Tony Busby for that money back. It looks like he might be suing Tony Busby for trying to sue him. It's a countersuit. And Jay-Z looks like he might actually win this legal battle because of the inconsistencies in that girl's story. And because Tony Busby was trying to do what he was trying to do to Jay-Z, it looks like Jay-Z is ready to play ball. It looks like Jay-Z is ready to play this game that Tony Busby was playing. This time, it looks like he's playing for keeps. Now he wants everything that Tony Busby has with interest. I'm not sure what type of money that Jay-Z would ask for Tony Busby in the court of law, but this is pretty bad, man. I mean, I really do think that Tony Busby looked at this as a money grab after everything has happened, after everything has taken place. When the lady had talked about her situation on the news and the news had came out with these inconsistencies, it really did look like a money grab. And that's really when people started to realize like this case is going to fall apart. There's just certain things to the story that didn't make sense. And she remains anonymous. She remains anonymous after this happening. But it looks like Tony Busby is the face of the outcome. It looks like he's going to be the person that's going to deal with the repercussions of the lawsuit that Jay-Z is filing. I guess we could wait and see what's going to happen. I personally believe that Jay-Z might win this case as well. Having that case dismissed and then going after the lawyer that was going after you, I feel like Jay-Z might actually win this one. I'm not too sure how good of a lawyer Tony Busby is. And I'm not sure what happens when you sue a lawyer. Does the lawyer protect himself? Does he lawyer up himself? Or does he go and get another lawyer to help him? How does it work when you sue a lawyer? Do you sue the lawyer and they get another lawyer? Or do they just help themselves? I don't think Jay-Z is going to let him get away with this easily. He really did mess with his money. He messed with his image. So we'll see how this goes. As far as Jay-Z and how you feel about him personally, I'll leave that up to you. But right now, it looks like this Jane Doe case was nothing but false. And it looks like he's going after anybody who tried to put this on it. But y'all tell me how you feel about this case. Y'all tell me about his case being dismissed and now him going after the lawyers that try to go after him. And let me know in the comments, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video, man. Peace. Keep it a legend.